What's going on, YouTube? It's another installment of G Gundam Reviews. This week we got episode, I want to say it was, no, I always do this every time. I forget what episode we just did. The 30. Episode 30. Hey, I got it. Got it. Anyways, this is a good episode. We introduced a new character. Well, it's similar, not quite when we introduced what was the dude's name? The blind fighter from Neo Nepal. It's not quite equal to that kind of character introduction. Because that dude, spoiler alert, he will come back. This is a new recurring character and a new member of the cast. Now, not to the level of like Saishi or Rain, but more on the levels of, let's say, Germany guy, Shadow Gundam, Schwarzbruder. I would say more of a secondary edition, maybe third, because a lot of the secondary characters I would actually boil down to being like the Shuffle Alliance crew. I would say maybe a third character, secondary character technically. And she's a very lovable character with a interesting story. And I just dropped my phone. Oh well. She's fascinating, and she's possibly, without having any of the, not being a Shuffle Crest member, not being a part of the Shuffle Alliance, not having any like massive characteristics, she's just on her own a match for Domon, like a gender bent of Domon. Let's say that's who this character is. Her name's Allenby Beardsley. And she is one of my favorites. She's top 5, I would say. But she's a fascinating character. Now let's get into this episode. So we start at a match in the tournament. Just a regular match. And it's Argo versus a mysterious fighter. I'm just gonna spoil it. This is Allenby Beardsley. And something's going on. Something that Argo doesn't even understand, and we don't really fully understand till later. But Argo, who Domon has had hard times beating. I don't think Domon has technically even beat Argo, but Argo's witnessing something that he's not understanding. It is very quick into this new bout, like this match. It just started. Allenby's going all insane, unleashes this massive power, and just beats Argo uber fast. This is right at the beginning of the match, and it's just done. This is our opponent 48 seconds into the match, and she's already won. This is our opponent from Neo Denmark. She's unknown. Nobody's really known her a lot till now, and it's Allenby Beardsley and her Noble Gundam, and I love Noble Gundam. Like the look of it. It is a unique looking Gundam. It's a female pilot, and it's a female styled Gundam. It's beautiful looking. All the curves, all the elegance of it. You got these long flowing hair. Man, beautiful. It's like a car. It's like a beautiful, beautiful car. Match begins, ready, go. And we open the full episode after, your intro part. We open shortly after the match with a crowd just surrounding Argo and Neo Russia. They're wanting to know, like, hey, what happened? You're getting pictures of Argo. You see him getting into the mobile vehicle. You have Nastasha. I always forget her name. Like, she's even telling people, get back. Don't get back. We're not going to talk about it. Get back. Because this was a humiliating defeat. Now you got them driving, going back to where their base is, because again, technically Argo is a prisoner, has to be escorted everywhere, prisoner for life. And their driver shows them a picture and begins asking questions like, what happened here? And she looks over, and it's Domon who snuck on. Because Domon's curious, like, Argo is not an easy opponent to beat, and 48 seconds is something outlandish. Like, not many people lose that fast. especially in the final rounds where these are the best of the best. Argo, who we have established, has been able to beat down Saisaishi, even when Saisaishi's giving it him his all. Beat down Domon. Argo, who is a behemoth, was able to go toe-to-toe with Master Asia. Even though Master Asia beat him, it is not a easy feat to take down Argo. That's why this is so shocking. You have an opponent do it so fast. Somebody who's nobody's really witnessed before. That's why it is astonishing to see this. I don't even think, even on some of Argo's, the few Argo episodes we got, when he was going up against the Canadian dude, he technically beat the Canadian dude. Argo was one of the top guys. That's why it's shocking. So Domon, he's asking questions like, what happened? And the Russia guy's like, hey, you shouldn't be here. And Nastasha tells him, sit down, and basically tells him, like, they don't know. Argo doesn't know. It was weird. It was this power, and Nastasha's furious because they don't know what's going on. They beat Russia super fast. It was humiliating. And Argo pipes up, and Argo only talks when he needs to talk. And he warns Domon, like, this girl, she has powers unlike anything else. It came out of nowhere. It scared me. You're going to have to watch her. She rivals even you. And that perks Domon's interest. We move along. We're now in the city. Rain is, talking with Domon. They're having a chat, and she's like, oh, a young woman who was able to beat Argo. Well, at least you're there to cheer up your friend. He lost. Good job cheering up your friend. And they're having a night out and relaxing, kind of how they do. And Domon's taking note. Oh, yeah, I cheered up my friend. And then I'm trying to get the shot. There's this. Taking note of friends and stuff. We see the little kids pointing to an arcade area saying, come on, Domon, come on. We got to go in here. It's in here. So they go inside, and you see this digital arcade. It fascinates me. Some of these games I want to know. What are you doing here? I want to know. I want to know what this game is. I wish it was real. Look at this. God, I love anime. I love Gundam. And I love it because they have things that it feels alive. It feels like, hey, I want to know what are you doing here? I want to know what you're doing here. I want to play this. I want to interact with this world. Even if it's just 2D cartoon, I still want to interact with it. It's fascinating. Domon makes a comment of these arcades never change, and then they see something cool. A new game, brand new, and you're seeing people fight. People are cheering, and Domon gets told this is the brand new game, latest edition, just came out. Big Fight Big Brother 2. Or Big Brother Fight 2. One of the two. And they're watching as this character just whomps this opponent. Domon's like, man, this looks really fun. Opponent comes down and says, I didn't even stand a chance. We get a look at the winning opponent. Drum roll says, hey, 16 matches in a row for the White Tiger player. And that's when we get the reveal of who our opponent is. A beautiful young woman. Stunning. Just gorgeous. And the crowd is all like, oh my god, it's a young woman. Domon's like, oh my gosh. Rain even takes note that it's a young woman. The little digital dude, because this is hologram, says, any challengers up to take on our opponent? Anyone? And Alan B's looking at the crowd like, nobody wants to take me on? And I already spoiled it. It's Alan B. Beardsley. Alan B has won 16 matches in this tournament. Now, nobody else knows that this is Alan B. I spoiled it. I ruined the surprise. I love Alan B. She's a fantastic character. But nobody wants to fight her. I mean, come on. You've won 16 matches, hands down. And Domon pipes up saying, why don't you take on a real challenger? Rain's like, are you serious, Domon? The little girl comes up and says, that's the spirit. Alan B looks, and you hear the digital person say, are you serious? This is a Gundam fighter. This is Domon Kashu of Neo Japan. He's a champion. And Alan B's like, yeah, I'll do it. You know, we'll do this. It's going to be fine. Everybody's like, hush kind of comes up. Everybody's placing bets on who's going to win. Domon suits up. Match ready. Yow. And our two characters spawn their avatars. This is an interesting moment. And hey, this is actually storytelling. This is something important that, yeah, they're going to tell you is important later in the episode, tell you that, hey, harken back to this. But this is foreshadowing for what's going to happen later in the episode. Actual good foreshadowing and not crappy foreshadowing from, you know, like The Last of Us. Oh my God. Frank and what's his name story. It's foreshadowing the story between Ellie and Joel. It's foreshadowing. No, it's not. It's stupid. Took away from Joel and Ellie, and it would off topic. Anyways, this is actually good foreshadowing. So they begin to fight. Allenby comes in, and Domon's struggling. Like it's neck and neck. They're even taking note. Like, hey, she's fast. Hey, he's fast. He's able to block my attacks. She's able to block my attacks, and the match just keeps going on, just very steadily, and they're just whacking back and forth. They're having cool time. They're jumping, just striking, and they're equal. These are equals. That's why when I call Allenby like a gender bent Domon, I'm not lying. She is Domon's equal in almost every regard, except for a handful. She is super strong. She is impressive, and Domon's going all out, mind you. He even takes note, like, this isn't going to be easy. I might as well go all out. They're both just struggling. Everybody's like, this is shocking. Rain's like, they're not holding back. They're having fun. And they're just going. And slowly, they're overloading the machine. The machine can't handle their strength. The machine can't handle their speed. Nothing they're doing is working. And they end up, people start panicking. They do one more strike, and the machine basically blows up. Well, basically, it literally blows up. And everybody runs out screaming, scared. Time to escape. Allenby rushes out, realizes she overdid it. Domon realizes there's cops. She tries to rush out, and then she runs into Domon and says, hey, that was fun. I hope we can do it again next time. This is important. And again, we have some more foreshadowing coming up and development on Allenby and some just comments that are made that develop Allenby perfectly. Something that we don't have a lot of nowadays. And, you know, Domon's like, yeah, this was fun. I can't wait to do it again. Allenby begins to run away. Domon doesn't notice, and she lets on her name that her name's Allenby Beardsley, and she looks forward to meeting him again. Domon's there, you know, happy and stuff. Watching her leave, Rain catches note of it because there's something starting to bud. There is something there. Domon watches her leave, and then it dawns on him. That's Allenby Beardsley, because Allenby just told her name. Holy crap, that's Allenby. He just fought Allenby in a video game. This was the woman that was able to beat Argo so fast. This was her. Fascinating, and she's rivals even him. That's the shocking part. That's when he realized, like, this isn't going to be easy. Time moves on. Get a nice shot of the city. Oh, it's so beautiful. This is all hand drawn. Oh, it's so beautiful. And we get into Master Asia talking to Hong Kong dude, talking about Neo Sweden, not Neo Denmark, Neo Sweden's Allenby Beardsley, and how she has won every match. Not just one match, every match. And she's only 17. She's young. Like, this is not... She's skilled in all sorts of combat, military combat, all sorts of stuff, and she's won every match she's ever gone up against. She is undefeated. And, you know, Hong Kong dude, whose name is escaping me, it's something weird. It's Asian name. Probably pulled a racisms, but it's an Asian name. They're all marveling at her and says, you know what? Let's make the next match interesting. And Master Asia says, what do you have in mind? You know exactly what I have in mind. They decide to pit Domon up against her next. A fascinating fight. See which one is truly stronger. King of Hearts versus this lovely lady. Who's going to win? It will be a fascinating match and a great test for everyone's pupil. And Master Asia's he's prepared. I want to point something out, and I'm not going to spoil what's going to happen, but take note of every interaction we get with Master Asia right now. Just little subtle comments you hear. Former pupil. Tests. Things that are happening. Master Asia is doing something that we don't know yet. I know. We don't know yet, but not a whole lot of people are realizing like Master Asia is still playing the game. Master Asia is still doing the tactics of war. He's testing people. And the reason why he's throwing, they're having Domon go up against these hard matches is they want to know something about Domon. Something that not a lot. Master Asia wants to know about Domon. He's already tested him once. He wants to know more. He wants to see how strong Domon truly has got it. Ain't gonna spoil why, because that is. We'll get down that road in maybe a handful of episodes from now. Things are about to get really interesting after this episode. Now we cut mid-credit part and we cut back to Allenby. Allenby is sitting on a table, getting, looking like, hey, there's medical stuff going on, but it's actually science. She's at the base of Neo Sweden. And they're looking her over and they're making comments like, hey, we're just checking you out. Allenby really hates this. They want to make sure that she's primed and ready for her next match. This is the guy in charge of her team basically harping on her like, why were you out? Where were you going? What were you doing? You need to be preparing. Allenby kind of looks away. It basically says, I don't want to do this. And we get a comment from the little guy over here because on their readings, they start seeing, because it's brain waves. They're checking everything. He says, you just had an emotional stunt in your brain. Man, did you have a fun night tonight? And Allenby perks up and says, don't look in my brain. It's developing Allenby in an interesting way. Seeing this, knowing Allenby is strong, seeing when she was at her happiest, now seeing when she's not. She's angry. She doesn't like this. Allenby is a complex character that I just love. And when she snaps at the dude says, I didn't mean to do it. I'm just doing my job and I just took note of it. Like, hey, did you have a fun time? He's trying to be friendly to her. But everybody else just treats her like a tool, like a weapon. Like she's not a person. She's just a thing to be manipulated. And it's sad. And Allenby says, yeah, she apologizes for snapping. Later in the night, we see that she escapes from her little base, goes out on the town. As she's running, she's harkening back like, yeah, I did meet a guy. And she's training, and we're seeing Domon training as well. And she's all up in joy. She's like, because I'm. And she jumps and immediately lands on Domon Kashu. We don't get to hear what she's happy about, why she's so excited, what happened. But you're starting to see some of the seeds planted. There's something there. And it's fascinating. It does cause some drama. It causes some interesting effects in this story. And Domon and Allenby, Allenby just landed on Domon and they're like, oh my God, it's you. Domon gets back to the boat because he was away, back just in time for dinner. And he shows that he brought Allenby along with him. Allenby's there like, hey, I'm don't mind to intrude. Everybody's just so happy to have her here. So grateful to have her here. They're having fun. She's like, I've never been on a boat like this. And old man's like, hey, it's perfectly fine. Come on in, have some dinner. And she's like, I shouldn't. And then her stomach growls very audibly. And everybody hears it. They laugh, they have fun. And she realizes that, hey, this is just fun. And take note of this. Where did Allenby just come from? She came from her own base. Very cold, very meticulous. It's scientists all over the place reading her, has her plugged into all this stuff. But when we take a look at Domon's in this maybe crappy little boat, but he's around people that love him, people that he cares about, and they're having fun, and they're like a family where they don't need a whole lot. They have each other. So it shows that their differences and how they go around and why Domon's so happy all the time. And they go out, you see kids are asleep, and Rain, Domon, and Allenby are just talking, and Allenby's like, that was a great meal, and Rain's all like, oh, well, I'm pretty sure you had a big day and you had a fun day. It's getting super late. Is your team gonna be worried? Like, is your country gonna be worried? And Allenby Snap says, I have no team. I might be jumping ahead, but she says she has no team. She doesn't recognize the people of Neo Sweden as actually liking her. She's nothing more than a tool. And when she says this, she does snap, and she apologizes because she lost her parents at a young age. She never really got to know them. And she's been raised by the government this whole time. She's been treating as nothing more than an object. And it's sad. It's again, the differences yet similarities between Domon and Allenby, where Domon's parents are gone. He became raised by Master Asia to be this expert fighter. But in the different side is Allenby was raised to basically be a weapon. And Domon relates to that at a extreme degree, and it just moves him because he sees their similarities and their differences. And then Allenby takes a look, but I'm going to be fine because tomorrow I have a match and I'm going to be challenging Domon. Let's make this a good match. Let's make this a fair match and a fun match. And that's their plan. They're going to have the best match of the tournament. That's what we prepare for. We are now at the beginning of their match. Everything's getting set up. Everybody's ready. You got Hong Kong dude watching, saying this is going to be fun. You got Allenby. She harkens back to her team saying, hey, don't start that system at all. I want this to be done equally with my own strengths. And the leader of Neo Sweden says, ignore her. Begin prepping it. Now we're learning something else. What was that power? It's the Berserk system. I did save this. And we'll learn more about the Berserk system in a bit. But that power that was used to beat Argo, beat a lot of her opponents thus far, isn't her natural power. This is improved power that happens, heightened power, that she does not like. I'm going to be real, and we'll see why, because it's not good. The guy who's at the helm says we really shouldn't do this, and the Sweden guy says do it anyways. Are you disrespecting an order? Okay, match about to start. Domon's ready. Match start, ready, go, and they begin fighting. And they're just having fun. You're seeing them, Domon and Allenby throw their attacks, doing everything they can, giving it their all, but Rain takes note. And we're going to hop there because they're having fun. You see smiles on both of them, giving it their all. Argo and Nastasha takes note that, hey, we're approaching the 1 minute mark. She hasn't even used that power yet, and Argo's concerned because he knows how powerful it is. But Rain takes note. They're having a game. They're enjoying this. They're having fun. They actually want to do this the right way. They want to give it their all because they're communicating with their fists. It's something that Master Asia said. You communicate with your fists. Fighters communicate with their fists. This is easy way, and this is an art form for them. They're having fun. They're showing how much they are enjoying this. It's beautiful because Allenby begins to use this attack, saying, "Look, Domon, we're gonna do this." And Sweden dude's like, she's having fun. This is getting really good. It's remarkable. We've never seen her fight like this. The woman who hates Gundam fights is having fun. That's a comment that gets made. Allenby hates fighting. Allenby hates the Gundam match. Allenby's been treated like this because it's against her. And at this one moment, this one fight against Domon is the funnest she's ever had. That's why it's so good. And that's when Neo Sweden's leader decides to just say, it's taking too long. Let's just do this. Begin the berserk system. The other Sweden dude's like, we really shouldn't. This is bad. It can hurt her. And he responds with, no, do it now. This evil glare, like you were going to listen to me. This dude, you can also tell, like, he doesn't like doing this either. Allenby doesn't like this. He doesn't like doing this to her, but he has no choice. So the system starts up. You see it, beginning to start. Allenby, in the middle of her batch, just strikes pain. It goes straight to her brain. She crumbles down in agony, screaming. Domon's like, what's going on? And we see how she begins to change. The berserk system is engaged. Red glow, her strength. I think we even get Argo's comment like, this is the power. This is that power. And we get to know what is the berserk system. It increases her height and strength. It nullifies everything. It turns her into a berserker that is unbeatable. She has no free will. She just wants to destroy at this point. It's what makes her so ravenous and destructive. And she stands up fully charged and just goes straight at Domon. And you can't even see it. Like, I am going frame by frame. This is all you get, like red marks. She's super fast, beating Domon left, right, and center, throwing him all over the place, just wailing on him, and Domon can't do anything. But he takes note, like, these hits that are landing on him, these fists, these punches, they're soulless inside. Something's wrong. This isn't the Allenby he was fighting with. This isn't the Allenby from the arcade. This is something different, and he doesn't like it. And she's just wailing on him. But everybody takes note, like, this is Rain's worried, Argo's realizing what's going on, and Sweden's just enjoying it. Domon gets thrown to the ground, just struggling. You see Allenby kind of recharging herself, and we have comments from Hong Kong and Master Asia, where Hong Kong's like, it looks like Domon's done. Looks like it's defeated, and Master Asia says, nope. Domon's just about to win. Hong Kong's like, what have you? And he says, just look at that Gundam. A picture's worth 1,000 words. That's all he says. That's all he says. He doesn't elaborate. That's all he says, because Master Asia can see this ain't gonna end well. You have Sweden's like, looks like we did it. We did it. We defeated the infamous, the famous, the champion Neo Japan. We are victorious. This is awesome. See, our system works 100%. And just then, other Sweden dude looks up. I guess I just raised the volume. I don't know how. Looks up and says, oh my God, what? No, we didn't. And you begin seeing it. The glowing power of Domon's hyper mode. And Rain takes note, like, hey, he's just powering up the hyper mode. And you see the difference in power as Domon rises from the ground. But I want to get that shot. Like, they are different in strength at this point. Like, Domon has higher strength than even Allenby. And Domon in his enlightened mode and his hyper mode, Allenby ready to unleash a powerful attack. But Domon in this mode just takes a look at her and says, you have no soul at this point. I was looking forward to fighting Allenby Beardsley, but you are nothing. You are something completely different. I am bored with this fight. I wanted it to end. I'm just gonna stop because I'm not even gonna give it my all anymore. And it's not hitting Allenby. She's still in a berserk form. But Domon disengages hyper mode. Says, I'm just so done. Sweden's leader, because other Sweden says, no, this is dangerous. You could die. Sweden's leader says, nonsense. Increase the power. Make her even stronger. and let her unleash that power. And that's just what happens. Allenby strengthens, unleashes a massive attack. Domon blocks it with his hand. They're struggling. I think we get a shot of Argo saying, "You got to do this, Domon. Come on, don't lose." Shows his Shuffle Alliance crest like he's there with him. And you get a shot of Domon just struggling, saying, "Please help me, Shuffle Crest. Bring Allenby's spirit and soul back. Back to her body, back to her fists." And he doing this, you get this awesome moment of him unleashing Erupting Burning Finger at full power, pushes back all that berserk energy, all this unnatural abilities, striking it hard onto Allenby and breaking her out of the berserk. And as she's breaking out, she says, "You're right, Domon. This isn't right. This isn't fair. This isn't good. We shouldn't be fighting like this. We need to have a real match." And with that attack, it destroys the berserk system. Everything's just shut down. Sweden's like, "What's going on?" Allenby falls to the ground. Both fighters are on the ground if they're worried. Was it a double knockout? What's going on? Then Rain takes note. No, it's not over yet. Domon stands up. Allenby stands up. They're still in this match. Sweden's like, we're still good. We can still win. Allenby's obviously exhausted. Allenby apologizes to Domon, saying, "I'm sorry, this wasn't right." And Domon just responds with, "Allenby, it's okay. I didn't want this." And you get this background. You know something's blossoming here, at least on one end. And Domon's like, "It's okay. It wasn't your fault. You were being forced. Let's have our fight." And Allenby takes note. You still want to fight me? You still want to have this match? Because, I mean, after everything that happened, and Domon's like, "Yes, this is our real match now." They get ready. You get ready for a nice match. This hand, and they say the words, "This hand of mine is glowing red. Its loud roar tells me to grasp victory. Allenby, Domon." And just then, Allenby collapses. And she collapsed because she's exhausted. She lost the match, yes. But she's beat. She took a lot. She can't go anymore. Everybody's rejoicing that Domon won, but they're more happy that Allenby's saved. You know, Argo's happy that they won. Nastasha. Yeah, Nastasha's like, "Yeah, you won. Okay." Domon picks her up and cradles her, says, "We'll have another match again." They're all happy. We get over to Neo Sweden, where Sweden won. We're calling him Sweden 2 and Sweden 1. Sweden 2 takes note of, "See, in the end, we didn't really even need the berserk system. And we're never going to be able to use it again because it's all destroyed. And it's just destroyed. Domon ended the system. Take note of that. Domon ended this berserk system." Got Master Asia saying, "You're really coming along, Domon. Can't wait to see how strong you can even get." The episode kind of ends there with Domon holding Allenby, looking off into the distance. I said it already. I said it multiple times already, and I'll keep saying it. I like that episode. It's a simple episode. It's a simple episode, but has a complex character arc, complex character story, and I love every second of it. And I can't wait for what's to come because there's some bangers coming. And I believe next week is, I'm not going to spoil what happens, but we get some final development for Chippity Crockett. Some development that is beautiful. And I've said some of Chippity's stories have been kind of weak. Some of the stories here or there have been kind of slow or weak. Chippity's development next week is 110% perfect. And we get to delve into some of the reasons why Chippity's afraid. What he's truly scared of. But I'm going to leave it there, folks. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Share it out, friends. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell for every time I put out a new video and go live, guys. And I'll see you all on the next one. Bye for now.